So hello guys, welcome back to my channel, and I'm currently sitting in the most anticipated Changan of 2022 up to 2023 is the all-new Changan CS55 Plus. This is Changan's newest compact crossover here in the Philippines, and wow, what an introduction with this all-new model. I mean, just look at it. It's more of a crossover, no pun intended, within the new CS35 Plus and the CS75, especially at the front. It carries a lot of the CS75 looks, and the grille carries from the CS35 Plus. I love the bronze accents all around in front of the vent. Yeah, it's fake, but it's fine, but it looks subtle, at least in this black color. And on the side profile, a lot of creases here and there, especially on the bottom, yet again with the bronze accents. Again, I love that. My favorite part of this Changan CS55 Plus has to be the rear. And correct me if I'm wrong, doesn't the rear look like an Isuzu MUX? I mean, there's a lot of resemblance, I gotta say. Like the CS75 Plus, I like the spoiler. Again, it has the same two-piece brake light. However, there are fake vents for the exhaust. The real ones are just underneath. I've not been a big fan of black colors, but for the CS55 Plus, this one works. Now, the biggest talking point of this Changan CS55 Plus are its features. And in the interior. Now, the steering wheel is more of a D shape, and it looks exactly the same like in every Peugeot model at the moment. There's nothing wrong with copying stuff. I mean, for example, Audi started with the virtual cockpit design, then everyone else copied it already. I mean, with this Changan, it's all digital. So, if you're gonna copy something, make sure it's good. And I like what Changan did. This is a good copy of Peugeot. I know it impedes the instrument cluster, but it ain't too bad. You just can set it really low. But I gotta say, the steering compared with the Peugeot, this one feels a little bit wider, and for some reason, this being a Chinese car brand, the quality of this feels better to the touch. No offense to Peugeot, the interior feels a little bit more special. I'm not sure if it's the color of the seats here. And look how much bolstering this thing has. I mean, it's already more of the sportier side. I can't wait to drive that, so more on that later. So quality here on the door, yeah, there's plastic here and there, but nice bronze cream material here, caramel material here on the door, and I love the wooden trim-ish here along with your aluminum window switches. That's a nice addition here. So again, back in the steering wheel, I like the bronze stitching as well here, and the buttons, they're not touch sensitive, thank God, but they're nicely designed. So on the left side, you have your adaptive cruise control functions, since this being the top of the line model, and on the right side, you have your phone connectivity buttons and adjustments for right behind the camera, the digital instrument cluster, and probably this is the smoothest thing I've ever encountered, along with the 12.3-inch infotainment system here. It is as well one of the smoothest I've ever encountered, and it's exactly like the CS35 Plus. There's a lot you can do, for example, like the onboard dashcam, and as well, this only has Apple CarPlay, bummer, but for Android users like me, there's Bluetooth mirroring, at least there still is, and there are a lot more things you can do with this car. Of course, like every other Changan, you have to adjust your power steering modes here on the infotainment system, but you can see here torque mode, drive mode, linkage. So it's kind of like how to explain this, like Mazda's G vectoring system. That's how this thing works. If you even go to the driving center, everything's here again on the infotainment system. You have ESC, again the hill descent control, so on and so forth, and for your ambient lighting here. And here on the left side, there's more buttons here. Despite being top of the line model, there's a blank button here, and I like the air conditioning switches here below the air conditioning vents. It's so simple but very, very nice to look at. The dashboard trimmings here on the passenger side, there's what, like the spaceship Tron style design here, embossed on the dashboard, and I like the gold plated CS55 Plus here on the side. This has a Pioneer sound system. I have experience with Pioneer in my own car. I recommend the brand as well. And then below here, you have two phone pads here. Underneath the center console, this is the biggest space I've ever seen in any car. And you can literally fit what, like 2 wine bottles there, if not mistaken. And then you have your SD card, your USB port, and a 12-volt socket. I'm not sure if that's an SD card, just correct me in the comments, thank you. Back here in the center console, I like the cup holders. It's surrounded in this metal trim, and these are the fanciest 360-degree camera buttons I've ever seen. And speaking of 360-degree camera, this is probably the best thing I've ever experienced as well. And the gear lever itself, it's pretty flat, but it's still nice. It's very the ergonomics here is really, really good. And even your parking brake button, it is wrapped in aluminum. Center console box, nothing inside, but it is really deep, but it still carries the bronze trim, so that's really good. Above here, you have your panoramic sunroof control functions into LED lights, visor, there's a vanity mirror with light. This one's not working because it's off. Okay, don't extend, but that's fine. No Changan says extend anyway. So what else? Oh yeah, the rear seats. It is alright as well. Headroom, knee room is excellent. Headroom, despite the sunroof, as I said, I'm only 5'4", I still have enough headroom. And you have 2 map pockets on each side. And I don't know what's this habit of Changan, that you only have one massive air conditioning vent here only in the middle, along with 2 USB ports. But then again, at least there's still an air conditioning vent. And as you can see here on camera, there's also central armrest with 2 cup holders. And like every other Changan, this has a transmission tunnel hump, but it is very, very small. So sitting down in the middle won't be an issue whatsoever. So as well, the boot has an electronic tailgate. So with all of the seats up, you have a total of 475 liters, and with all of the seats down, you have a total of 1,415 liters. So if space is your priority in a crossover, this CS55 will tick all the boxes for you. So as well, powering this engine, it's a 1.5 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine with 188 horsepower and 300 Newton meters of torque. This is also now one of the most powerful cars in its class as well. And along, this is mated to a 7-speed dual clutch transmission. So there's a lot to talk about. I'll know with the SEs later on we get to drive if this is still the wet type dual clutch transmission. Yeah, and then it pick immediately. There are no paddle shifters, but it's fine. So that's about it here, the interior and the exterior of the Changan CS55 Plus. Let's go for a drive. Finally driving the CS55 Plus. Okay, first impressions immediately. Like what everyone's talking about with the dual clutch transmission. I mean, it's not jerky so far. So hindi to wet type dual clutch, no?
Wet type, sir.
So okay, it's still a wet type dual clutch transmission, but now in addition of a shift by wire system. So as well, I love the steering wheel. Yeah, it feels like that French brand I keep mentioning, but well, I mean, it works, and I prefer, for some reason, holding the steering wheel on top rather than on the sides, like how I used to do. So the steering wheel, it feels like you're driving a race car. I understand, actually, some people I heard even said it drives like a Formula 1 car. I mean, that's really funny. And where are the people? Ayan. Thank you. There's no, the auto hold nandito din, di ba?
Sadly, sir, wala siyang auto hold.
Yes,
walang auto hold si CS55.
Okay, exclusive right there. Okay, that's weird. There's no auto hold function for this CS55. And that sounds cool. I'm already indicating to the right.
Yes.
Okay, that's the fanciest indicator I've ever heard. As well, if you heard the fancy indicator, you can actually change it. Okay, that's what I usually hear in new cars. And that as well. But number one's fancy. And like every other Changan, but especially the 35 Plus, when I turn, okay, so when I turn, the corner camera turns on. But I noticed something. When you do the torque mode and the drive mode engage, sport mode turns off for some reason. Or is it? Okay. When you turn on the torque mode, it will lock on the driving position, whatever it is. So why not? There's a little bit delay with the transmission. Oh my! Oh wow! Okay. Alright, we're off to a very good start. There's a little bit delay with the transmission, but it flies, it flies, it flies. Oh my god, oh my god. Alright. So right off the bat, it's already one of the most powerful cars in its class. I'm stunned. It's good. Yeah, even though I'm already in sport mode. Shut you up for a while. No. Okay. Right. Despite being a little bit wet, you can feel it's a little bit jerky only. I mean, just like when you go from a start to a stop, it just suddenly goes like that. But it's not too bad. If this was a dry type dual clutch transmission, it would have been a lot worse. Guarantee on that. I have experience with that. And what else? The steering in sport. I noticed immediately if you put it in manual, it's much more responsive. So I'm gonna leave it there. And my nitpick with CS55, like I said earlier, there are no paddle shifters, but it's alright, I gotta say. Then, it's much worse. Whoa, in manual mode. Right. Oh yeah, in VHF this is really good. And here over hump. Alright, that's alright. Wow, that's so punchy. I'm impressed with this performance of the CS55. And the NVH back again is really good. Probably the best one I've encountered. Just as good as, no, just a little bit better than the CS35 Plus. I mean, the dual clutch, it's of course not the best out there, but it's alright. It's better than most, I have to say. And then brakes, really strong as well. It's more of the high side, but it stops. Oh, okay. I understand now with some of the media drives who are able to take this up to Baguio. Yes, it can go up to Baguio. I saw why it's so easy to skid this car's wheels, because yeah, it is pretty nuts. And we're just in eco mode, and now let's try sport mode. Still a delay, but oh my, it's already spinning its wheels. Wow. Oh my god, this is nuts. This is nuts. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the new best bang for the buck compact SUV. This thing's wicked. Oh wee. Right, in manual mode, just serious, I'm still in manual mode, but it will automatically upshift. But that's common in some of its competition. And yeah, and still being a DCT transmission, it shifts up and down pretty fast as well. And for some reason, unlike the Peugeot, which I keep comparing this steering wheel to, it doesn't impede too much of your vision in the instrument cluster. So the steering is actually just a little bit less taller than that of the Peugeot. So I am impressed with that. And another impression, yes, you have already the most powerful car in its class. And I was expecting this to be a little bit thirsty. No, this has already been driving the whole day, especially around here in the afternoon, and its total average the whole day 12 liters per 100 kilometers. That is pretty impressive for this kind of car, this kind of weight. It's kind of heavy as well, and it's been driven the whole day, and yet again with this much power. I can't imagine Reagan, Alex, James Taglin, Sir Wes, and Kyle Young, who were able to take this on the media drive. I can't believe how much fun they had when they took this up to Baguio. It is so good. And at high speeds, yeah, it will skid its tires a lot, but it's still planted at speeds. Oh my god, it kicks you in the back really good. Wow. So this new Changan CS55 Plus as well, let's not forget the price of this thing. This Luxe variant, the top of the line variant, costs 1,373,000 pesos. Yep, it is the new king best bang for the buck compact SUV in its class. So you got everything, all the ADAS, even though I don't use it, it's still good to have. You have all the tech in the world. It is a really, really good compact SUV. And kinda exceeded all of my expectations as well. It is, well, I would say too good for what this is. And yeah, around corners, if you saw, there's just a little bit of bothering, but it's very much tolerable. You'll forget it because with this steering wheel, this handles really, really good. So that's what impressed me the most. So that concludes my review of this Changan CS55 Plus. We have a new challenger again in the market, and it's already taking the crown of it. So I'd like to thank everyone here with Changan Motor Philippines here at the pre-Christmas test drive event held by Autofocus. So I'd like to thank them, Changan Philippines, Sir JR and Sir Andrew, for making this test drive review possible. Their contact details, and Changan Commonwealth as well, thank you to them. Their contact details and the address will be in the description down below. So hope you guys like and subscribe, and I will see you with more future car reviews and more Changans as well. Bye bye.